Welcome to Backbreaking News 113. Let me introduce you to, for the very first time. You saw him last episode, but I didn't tell you his name. Well, introducing Frederick, the Pikachu. Say hi, Frederick. Pika! See, he said hi. So, we're going to be reacting. Pika! Stop interrupting me. We're going to be reacting to, Backbreaker News episode 5. So, let's do it! Pika! See, he's really excited. Let's.
To Backbreaking News episode.
That's 6, mate.
And today we'll be talking about what can make.
What can what?
I had a blank there. Make Pokemon a better game.
What could make Pokemon a better game?
For instance, I think mixing and matching Pokemon.
So, mixing and matching Pokemon. What I mean by that is, like, mixing two Pokemon types together. So, for example, Pikachu and, just pretend this is Squirtle, mixed together to make Pasquirtle. You know, something like that. But then I realized you can make the name Adolf Hitler, and that's pretty bad if you mix a certain two Pokemon together. I forgot which one it was, but you can make Hitler. But now you're all going to go to try and find that, so good luck. The FBI is going to be after you. Now, let's get serious.
For instance, my favorite Pokemon, Rockruff and Froakie, and you can make.
Because my favorite Pokemon is Greninja.
And they will make a rock and water type Pokemon. Also adding multiple different things to the game, like different games you play while playing Pokemon, like kind of like
they had that in the old games, but the company that now does Pokemon is like, we're going to take out all the fun out of the games. Pikachu, isn't that right? Pika! Pika! He's shaking his head. Yes. See, Pikachu agrees. Frederick agrees. Right, Frederick? Help me. Good old Frederick. He always says the funniest things. Anyway, Pika! Okay, now let's get back to the seriousness.
a board game or something, just to keep people entertained while playing.
Now, people play Pokemon for the Pokemon. They don't play for the Diddle, Daddle, Squirtle. They play for their favorite Pokemon and the game itself. Even though it's just essentially like every 2K game and EA game with just the new starter Pokemon, you can still get the same old Pokemon. Frederick is there, right, Frederick? Pika! See, he agrees. You could interpret that to say whatever you want, but I still feel like that idea could work, but I digress.
And not just that, to keep people entertained.
I said not just to keep people entertained, but to keep people entertained. Like,
well, going through this long story, they have something else to do once they finish. It needs something more than just the end, middle, and finish. They need some different modes. They need
now that would be a cool idea.
something fun to do after you complete the whole game.
You could mix and match Pokemon afterwards. Now that would be a good idea. So, not only now could you play, like, where you fuse Pokemon together, but now you could play after the game You confuse them, and that would be its own mode where it will be a lot longer than the normal story mode, and then it will be its own story mode. It sounds confusing because it is, but it would be cool in premise if you got words correct.
I should just play it again, and also make different things possible that you couldn't do in the other games. I would like to see a new type of Pokemon type, like
Yeah.
they have. What about Elastic or Lead or Gold or
Half of those are really stupid ideas, but
even Funny type?
Funny type seems like it would be cool because they literally have a mind.
They added something new to it. And I feel like the major success of Pokemon was because new things eventually came out of the old things, and even then, it was still a very successful series, and I understand that. But my point of view, you have to understand, playing the same game over and over and over again with just new starter Pokemon, new features that gets boring.
You're talking to a guy who buys every WWE 2K game, who has like one or two new features and the rest the same old stuff.
The series of games, this is about the cards too. Don't put
isn't that the
multiple
truth?
Different types of Pikachus, make completely different Pokemon, and make it into the game and the cards, and maybe there's something you could do in the game where you could trade virtual cards too.
That would be cool.
That you collect from completing the game over and over again. Make it interesting to complete the game again, not just because. And another major part I would like to say is like, at least some games that are basically the same, they at least change, update every once in a while. Updated. It's getting boring of the same thing over and over again. You have to.
I agree with myself there.
Fun is to make new Pokemon trainers. I once did art about what I would like the Pokemon to look like. I don't have it with me right now, but I'm just saying. Maybe add like a trainer of Funny type you have to beat, and it be a clown that. And also have Pokemon half human would be cool to the series.
So basically Mewtwo
of games. Now I know Pokemon it's just too late to change exactly from where you began, because it would make no sense to do that. Also, one way to improve the overall.
I've never played a Pokemon game until 2000 and something. Universe. So my opinion here is invalid.
Pokemon Universe is making.
I played a Pokemon game and it was pretty fun, just the way it was.
Like maybe making a different type of game that has to do with Pokemon.
So Pokemon Snap,
Pokemon in the Pokemon series makes no sense. It does, but I'm just saying add like a Pokemon game that has nothing to do with catching Pokemon or taking pictures of Pokemon, because
Frederick.
That really just gets boring after the first few seconds. And trust me, I'm a fan of Pokemon. I just
do you think I had some dumb ideas as a kid?
Work to it.
He said yes.
It's kind of
a Pikachu roasted me.
More work to it, so.
And his name is Frederick.
I wouldn't be ashamed to
I would not take that from a Freddy Fazbear looking Pikachu.
Problems in the series.
But he's my friend.
I've never played a Pokemon game in my life. So
I almost have
I'm not
now.
the one to be talking, but I would try to get my hands on a Pokemon game if they added these things.
I got my hands on a
Not saying
Pokemon game
went
because I
any
thought
other
it would
way,
be
but I'm
fun.
just saying,
My opinions have since
I was
changed.
really hoping that they were going to announce something in the game convention, E3.
Back
And
when
also,
E3 actually mattered.
hopefully by 2022 they add some of these things. Not 2022, but maybe a couple of years they finally add these things. It's because it's really
This is only
important to
episode
understand
5.
that
And we still have like,
Pokemon needs something
like
interesting.
50 or something to
Because
go.
old fans are probably trying to find different series. And in my opinion, if Disney got the right to Digimon from Nickelodeon, they could have a Digimon and Pokemon game and mix it all
Disney,
together.
in fact, does not own Pokemon.
Two of
They
kids'
just have the
favorite
dubbing
shows,
rights.
and maybe add Yu-Gi-Oh there too.
That
all
would be a
three
cool
of those
game.
things would make a good game. If you had all three of those together, it would make a fantastic game.
I still agree, a mixture of all
But
those
just-
three things would be cool, but
But just
copyright
competing
reasons and all
the
of
game
that
would be tough.
diddle
Because you have to
daddle.
get all the licensings right,
See, even I
all
said
the license rights. And it wouldn't be hard to get Disney to say yes, but it might be hard to get
for Nintendo
other
to say yes, they copyright
companies
everything.
to it.
This Pikachu might be
If there's anything to get Disney on the map, they'll do it.
Nintendo might be mad I'm
And
using Pikachu,
that's
but
basically
boo
all I have
hoo,
to say.
right
And
about it.
maybe, but before
Whatever the owner of
I just
Nintendo
want to
is.
add one more thing. If Pokemon is going to be a good series, one thing it needs is something new. Different game modes, and a reason to buy the game. And that's all for
Because
now.
it's fun.
This is Comic Cookie 73, and
Okay. What I got from that was I have some strange opinion as a kid. But I guess we all kind of did. But this is Comedy King Carl. Looking back on these, I look like a completely different person now. As you could tell, I look not much better, but I look like I'm matured some. I definitely have. My voice is definitely deeper, and I speak louder. That's the one thing I noticed about this. I was real afraid to talk before, in the past episode. Hey, think about this. And now I'm starting to talk just a little bit louder, where you could at least understand what I'm saying a little bit, you know? And now I'm talking fully loud. It was like it's like it took a while for me to get my footing, and then once I got my footing, I created some very iconic moments, like Burger King selling their fries like this, and that was probably one of my most iconic moments from a very iconic video. So, how did I go from this? I will never know it, and then to this, you'll never find out. Good.